She has been simmering in the green room for almost an hour, and I think she's ready to be served. Would you please welcome the lovely Nigella Lawson?
If I knew you were coming, I'd bake to cake, bake to cake, bake to cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd bake to cake. How do you do, how do you do, how do you do?
You look fabulous. Doesn't Nigella look great? Wow. And look at this.
I'll make you a present.
Wow.
Okay, so every year I make Christmas tree decorations.
Okay.
So instead of giving you angels and everything, here I've given your name in lights.
So, but these are made, this is gingerbread, and you've made a hole in it so you can hang it from the tree.
Yes.
Wow.
You'll have to thread the ribbon through.
Did you really make them?
I really made them.
Okay, so you must just spend like all day making stuff, do you? Is that what you do with all your time?
I wish that were the case, but no, but a lot of the time.
But something like this would take me about 10 days to make.
It wouldn't.
This would take me forever to make. I mean, presumably you know what you're doing, but just to get all the bits and pieces assembled.
No, but that's okay, because you buy them, and you shake them over.
All the little balls and stuff.
Yeah,
hey,
I
don't like those balls. Could you make me a different O without the button, a different S? Because I don't mean to be picky, and a T, and that one's got some on. Because those ones, have you ever bitten one of those, Nigella?
But you can just hang them from your tree.
No, never mind that. Listen,
like.
I want the whole...
Okay,
no,
well,
let go. I want the whole name, and I want you to go back and redo those and come back when you're finished.
Okay.
No, sit down. But I don't like the silver balls because they hurt your teeth.
They do, and you've suffered enough.
Yes, I have. So you must be, I'm imagining... Hold it, I can't spell my own name. Hold on.
It's difficult upside down. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, there, let's get it right. That's very impressive. I'm very excited about that. You must be, presumably, you're gearing up for Christmas now. You're getting ready for...
I've been geared up for so long, I think it's next Christmas.
Really? You have to... Oh, I suppose you... Because you've made a show for the BBC, and I guess you've been doing it since when?
Well, my Christmas normally kicks off in August. This year it kicked off in July.
So you were cooking Christmas dinner in July?
Yep.
That must just seem wrong, though, doesn't it?
Well, actually, you know, I had a great-grandmother who really loved Christmas lunch, so she always had it twice a year, once on Christmas Day, once on Midsummer's Day.
Oh, wow, that's a nice
idea. So I'm used to it. You know, it's like a family failing.
And this is the traditional Christmas dinner that we would all recognise today,
Completely. Do you know, there's nothing I hate more than when people think they're too chic for a proper Christmas.
Do people, posh people?
You know, when they say, well, do you have a turkey? And we have a goose. And I think, poor you.
If someone served me a goose, I would punch them quite hard in the face. Then I would shit on their couch. Right?
Yes.
Then I would smash a window. I would smear my testicles over their curtains.
Right.
And then I would leave and claim I had been raped by them.
And where are you going for Christmas this year?
Hopefully your place.
No
Get
goose.
the goose ready. Hey, but no, I would... What's the point of that? Why would you not have that?
You've got to have turkey.
That's just making the wrong kind of point, isn't it? Saying goose and...
I think it's completely wrong.
So how long do you spend getting Christmas ready, do you think, Nigella? How long would... Because I imagine you lay on a better spread than most people, I would have thought.
No, I don't think so.
I bet you do.
Actually, you know, one of the things that always panics me is that when people come to my house, they think they're going to get something really great to eat. But, you know, I'm not a chef, you know, I just cook, so it's a family joke that every time... So anyone in my family, when they're speaking to me, and they say, you know, what are you cooking tonight? And I always say, roast chicken. So everyone says, we're going round there, we're going to get that and that, and I come up
with the roast
smiling,
chicken.
roast chicken, and they think...
But I bet you roast the chicken in sort of like rare Bavarian goat cheese or something. I bet you do something special with your chicken.
No, you don't need to do anything special. I like plain food.
Yeah, you can't beat it. Do you allow vegetarians in the house?
I do, although I have to say my grandmother felt that vegetarians shouldn't really accept invitations to dinner. Vegetarians are all people on diets, she felt.
She's kind of got a point.
But no, I don't mind. I'm fine about vegetarians because actually I think at Christmas, you don't need to do something special because in many ways, you know, the vegetables are great. So roast potatoes are fabulous, sprouts and chestnuts great, parsnips great, red sauce.
Keep going.
Cranberry sauce. Well, that's all good. The only difficulty is this year, because when I was filming the series, we did have a vegetarian among us. We don't normally.
And, I like that. You sound like you're talking about some sort of like a leper. We had a vegetarian. We thought best not to mention it.
So what happened? So we film Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
Had my family around, we're filming it. And then the next day, because, you know, that, the magic of television, you're doing all the close-ups. So the next day, the crew, we all sit round, we have Christmas dinner, and there was a vegetarian. And the director thought, oh, well, you know, I suppose you can have, all we got to give him, the roast potatoes and the sprouts. And then he realised I'd done my sprouts with bacon and I'd cooked the roast potatoes in goose fat, so he had to go to the Thai takeaway.
Oh. But you know what? That serves him right. Now, do you think, does food replace other things in people's life, do you think?
I think it can do. But I mean, obviously we all know sort of examples of people who eat. We know, Friar Tuck presumably ate through his frustration at being celibate. And
is that what you think was? So he wasn't getting any, so he just ate?
Yes.
Ate and ate and ate.
I've always presumed, haven't you?
Big Dave, what's going on in your life at the moment?
You see, conversely, I think that people who don't ever eat are so engrossed about their body shape that they're also on that end. So I also think the problem there.
But you, for example, do you have the balance right? Do you eat enough to keep yourself happy in that way? And do you get enough of the other to keep you happy in that department? Tell us all about it.
I'm fully satisfied.
How often?
Well, it depends. Both are important.
Yes.
But, they have their own
You don't
pleasures.
really want to get them mixed up.
No.
OK, Nigella has a new... Hey, is this your first show on the BBC now? Are you coming over to work at the BBC? No.
I'm not really an institution type of a person, but I was very pleased to do the series, especially since it was a very short series. I like doing it, but, well, like you, I've got children, and it's one of those things that you just can't do. I mean, it's a very boring thing to say, but you can't do TV and have a normal life.
Well, I find it's good to do TV and not see the children.
Yes,
I find
I
that
know.
works quite well.
I know, but I like to take them to school, I like to pick them up,
it's a lovely
so
thing,
I
I
can't do
understand.
that. So I don't do much TV, but I enjoy doing this.
So this is called Nigella's Christmas Kitchen. It's on BBC over Christmas. Of course you're going to watch it. That's Nigella's Christmas Kitchen. Now, that's mainly filmed over here, but you travelled for that series, didn't you? Where did you go to?
I went to Salzburg for one of the Christmas markets.
How nice. Now, Salzburg is in Austria, is that correct?
It is in Austria. The food was so delicious.
And what do you get in Austria that you can't get here?
Well, actually, I had something which... I get this awful thing, which is like the Vindaloo and the lager thing when I go out in a restaurant. So I went to a restaurant with my crew, and when the waiter comes round and he says, well, we've got something that's very traditional, Salzburg speciality, and it's like a really delicious ragout of heart and lung. And they all go, oh, my God. So, of course, I say, bring me the heart and lung.
Oh, heart and lung of which
like
animal,
a
though?
canister.
Do we know where it's come from?
A veal. They're full on there, so it's a veal.
So it's a baby animal, and they've ripped out its heart and lung while its mother probably watched. So you could eat it.
But that was all right, because it came with a really delicious bread dumpling the size of a tennis ball. And it was so delicious, because I was a bit worried, because even I was worried, because I thought it would look like those things in the transplant things. But it was very, very, very finely chopped with a very nice sauce. And I converted everyone to the heart and lung. Actually, you were saying about vegetarians.
Yes.
Which, actually, I have converted a vegetarian on my series.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing, do you think?
Well, I felt a little teeny glimmering of pride.
OK. Listen, have you ever put anything in your mouth and thought, I wish I hadn't...
Never.
Never? What a lovely Christmas it must be round at Nigella's birthday. You're obviously someone who enjoys life, and I mean that in the nicest way, because you're sort of cited as a voluptuous woman. Okay,
So I have to hold my tummy in at this stage?
No, you look gorgeous. You're a very curvy woman, and it's quite refreshing to see someone who is a beautiful woman who is celebrated from that, who doesn't starve herself. It's quite unusual in media.
Know.
Have you ever encountered the phrase MILF?
Thank you.
It's an internet phrase, which I believe if a mother I would like to formally get acquainted with. And they have gilfs as well, apparently. Grannies. I didn't start it. Right. I think it comes from Wayne Rooney's website. But yeah, is it weird being held up as an example of... Because you're always cited, whenever they talk about curvy women, they always mention, there's always photographs of you. And on the one hand, I suppose it must be lovely to be seen as being admired, but the other hand, I don't think I've met a single woman ever, who was happy with the way she looked.
No, but on the other hand, given that that is the common denominator, that we're all worrying endlessly, I think it is slightly more relaxing to think, well, I'm not going to fight the fight anymore. And once you've accepted that you can have that other packet of Maltesers, life gets a bit rosier.
Do you like donuts?
I've never, ever met a donut I don't like.
Oh, man. Which is your favourite donut?
I like proper old-fashioned donuts.
Sugar on the outside?
Sugar on the outside, jam in the middle.
Jesus Christ. You know, I'm a great fan of yours, not just because I think you are a charming person, and I think obviously you're a talented performer in the kitchen, but there was one thing I read about you in particular, which was a quote, and I don't know whether you said this or not, but it struck me as being such a lovely thing to say. You were talking about your children, and you said that the interesting about having children is you have to stop being the picture and you become the frame. And I thought that was just a charming and insightful thing to say, and I'd never said that to you before, but I wanted to say it to you now.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and you are about number 2 in my list of MILFs.
Thank you.
Now, before we move on, before we say goodnight to Nigella, and we must, I'm afraid, I love your shows. One thing I sometimes resent about them and don't like about modern cookery shows is the kind of frenetic pace of the show, the camera work. It's all kind of like wibbly-wobbly like this. So you're cooking. Pretend your chocolate's not there.
Okay.
This is like, and you'll talk to me on the camera, okay?
Okay, I'm talking to you. Okay, so don't worry about how... Oh, listen,
That's
I'm
what
not
it's like,
having-
and it's all like,
don't
whoa,
diss-
look at that.
Don't diss my crew.
Right, okay, it's all over the
Oh, no,
place.
I've got lots of disco glitter from my decorations all over.
And you can't concentrate on it.
But you don't want
know
to
what?
concentrate on it.
Yes,
You
you do.
can.
I want to see clearly what's being done, and then occasionally a couple of money shots, and then back to what's being done. You know, a view with a bit of cream going. That's what you normally get. It's like, and now I'm going to bake this at 100 degrees, and they cut you for some reason going. That can't go up the tree now. All right.
What's your dentist thinking?
Christ almighty, woman, how long do you cook that for?
Not long enough.
I bit the inside of my mouth now. It's a bit soft.
No. Okay. I'll give you another J so you can hang it up and
Oh.
remember who you are.
Thank you.